get on to the last topic. We're gonna talk about this this Kendrick album. This Kendrick album, Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper or the Big Steppers.
Big
The
steppers.
Big Steppers.
So this album is definitely surprising for me, I would say, because
I know you surprised.
yeah, I was very surprised.
Damn, did you say it last
It's like
episode?
Kendrick Lamar was listening to me. He's like, "I got something for your ass."
Yeah. Nah, yeah. Last episode you said it. You said, hey, if it's good, I gotta come on here and say I was wrong.
Yeah, I said if he proved me wrong, I'd come here and eat my words. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I had to eat them shits. You know what I'm saying? Like, so and I'm gonna try to like do like a little review or something in the next couple of days, but we have been having little technical difficulties and shit. But for me, one of the many things that was cool about this album that made it really, really, really good to me, and now listening to it as much times as I had, it might even in my ears be better than Good Kid, Mad City. It might to me be his best album that he made, but I think what made it so good is that it's so much not what you thought or what you expected this nigga to, between the subject matter to the way he presented the songs to Kodak Black being involved with it. Like there's so much aspects of it that you're like, wow, this
the openness. He got really open on it.
Openness, because like it's really, there's a song on this album that's completely about him growing up with a gay aunt and how that like, and that shit was like a whole web of craziness.
Yo, bro, that song was fire though.
Yeah, and
Monty is a man now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I feel like what's so crazy is that like
that shit was hard.
Most artists, especially this deep into their career, don't come with the personal album this deep. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the album you would expect him to come maybe directly right after Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah.
Like this man talks about his family. He talks about his experience with with COVID during the COVID, his experience with the Black Lives Matter stuff. His like I said, his family experiences. He mentions his cousin suing him a couple times. He mentions there's even a slight reference to him being molested as a child on there.
Yep. I remember
that. It's fucking nuts. Like, and with all that, he doesn't present it in a way of it's like track after track of just like craziness. It's kind of like it's like evenly spread out in like this beautiful like I don't even know what to call it, like orchestra or some shit.
And the way he did it, like side A, side B, like the 9 and 9. Yeah, I thought that was dope too.
Yeah, bro, and I like that he gave, there's like 2 interludes on it. One each was like one is Kodak's interlude, and then one with Baby Keem.
Yeah.
And I like that he gave them both the opportunity to kind of do the same thing that he did throughout the album, kind of reflecting on his personal life and the shit that he had to do to get to where he was at, and he went through. The interludes kind of let them do that with their situations. You get what I'm saying? And
and how it all is parallel.
Like,
Word.
And another thing is not really any features. The only features on there is the Kodak feature. Baby Keem is on it throughout, kind of like on different parts.
The blast, and then the few singers that he had on there.
Yeah, and then like random singers or whatever, and then his wife has his vocals on certain like intros of certain songs where they're like talking or whatever. And I think even his daughter, there's a part where his daughter says something or something like that. I think she says Big Steppers at the end or something. But
I remember that. That's right.
Yeah, man. And he talks about like being a father and like I loved it, man. I loved it that because what I thought and what I think a lot of people thought and expected was that it was gonna be an album full of him talking about all the stuff that he where he went ghost for the past 3 years or whatever. And I thought it was gonna be him just talking about Black Lives Matter and he curved that shit completely. The ironic thing is that I think even the point of the album is the point with songs even like Savior is like, bro, I am not the person that you guys think that I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not this nigga that's
I seen that with Natalie.
He's not on this thing of like, he doesn't seem to even care to present that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has lines on this shit. Like he says, like he references the whole thing when people were putting up the black screens during the George Floyd thing. And he's like, I seen people arguing over who's blacker, even putting up black boxes and calling it solidarity. Me meditating in silence made you want to tell on me. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that was like direct lines to people like me that was basically saying like, you know, why was this nigga so silent during all this? And then
Right.
He said that last episode too. God
Yeah.
damn it. Hey, Kendrick had to watch that shit, bro.
He definitely was.
My man said, hold on, let me go back and switch these motherfucking lines.
And yeah, and I think like it's crazy that he was able to make an album not about any of that shit really, and still make this fire album up talking about him and his life. And I think
Right.
people were able to relate to that more. Me, even personally, I think I was able to relate to that more and see his vision of it more than I would have if he had just been straight talking about, you know, all the other stuff. So that's my little thing. But Clay, what did you give me your thing? Like, what did you think about it?
Yeah, no, I think you honestly hit everything right on the nail. You know, the album was definitely dope from beginning to end.
Yeah.
I love the way how he got really open on it. Definitely, you know, I say this all the time and I'll reiterate and will always repeat myself about this, that him and Cole, anytime I feel stuck creatively, like working on my own stuff, they always show me that, nigga, it's right in front of you. Stop looking over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the stuff that people want to try to create and say it's good music, especially when it comes to an album, it's the shit that's right in front of you. It's about, you know, what makes you you, you know what I'm saying? And just the way that they present it, like the way how he presented this album, you know what I'm saying? It was definitely something I appreciated, like I said, as an artist, and can take some pointers for myself and not think about things so much and just, you know, be open and be, you know what I'm saying?
Facts,
And
facts.
definitely had
And
some
he mentions
lessons.
that too. And I think I had mentioned it on the last episode. Like he talks even about how he had writer's block and he couldn't think of shit
Right.
for a certain
Right.
period of time until he finally got it and he was able to, you know what I'm saying? And for someone like him, that I knew that had to have been somewhat of the factor of him not
Of
putting
course.
out anything. You know what I'm saying? There had to have been something mentally blocking him or whatever. But so Don, what about you? What did you I'm sure you listened to it. What did you think?
So I still haven't got to finish out the whole album. I've listened to a few records on there, and like the few records that I've listened to is like gas, and like you said, it's nice to see. It's motivating to see somebody like that go out there and put out records like that, and how he does it. It's real motivating. I hate to say it's cliche, but like it makes you want to start writing records, and you know what I'm saying, really get creative with it, because I feel like he got real creative with the records that I listened to, and even
and I think the unique thing about Kendrick Lamar, if you as compared to, you know, like J. Cole even, which is kind of usually his only counterpart that people, you know, use,
Right.
is that Kendrick Lamar has such more of a he's so much better at delivering a message but still making the song sound sonically good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the thing too. He's making, so some of the tracks that I heard, like the one with Kodak Black, is that still kind of trap feel, but he's still going in, like he's still snapping and
like,
making sense on the record, giving you a message. Still got a little vibe to it. Put these niggas like me, like like all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
like
that shit is fire.
Something in there.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
Need up me like
who? Like, okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
that's my shit.
Like I like the one he's like, quit playing with me before I turn you to a song. That
was hard too.
Now I think that what's it called? I think that one's called like Rich something, Rich Problems or something like that.
Rich something, I forgot.
Yeah, and there's like a skip before that, which I think that's the one with Kodak. Yeah.
And
because the Savior interlude is
Savior was Baby Keem.
The Baby Keem one, yeah. And then
it's good. It's refreshing to see creativity, good music, and a message as well when it comes to albums, because you miss that in a lot of albums. You know what I mean? So it's real good to see that and motivating to see that.
Yeah, because that's another thing that I was really like surprised about, was I didn't think that way, because like I said, I thought it was gonna be mostly him just preaching or him explaining, you know, why he wasn't involved with the Black Lives Matter movement or whatever during, you know, but it wasn't that. So one of the surprising things to me was that it was so like it was so about like everything else. It was almost to the point like he sat down, he's like, okay, let me think of everything I could talk about except that shit, even if I gotta dig deep and talk about personal stuff in my life that I normally wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like there's so much shit on this album that he mentioned. He even talks about him's height. He says a line where he says, he says on something, I go from 5'5" to 6'2", and he says he like like basically admitting that he's 5'5". He's like, I'm not taking shit back on some, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like all that. That's nothing. He doesn't really talk about his height. The nigga's short as hell. I think his girlfriend's even like taller than him, like mad taller than him, or his wife.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I feel like, bro, it's so crazy that this deep in his career, he like dug deep and made an album like this. And he didn't have to. He didn't have to. Like some of the shit he talks about, he does not have to mention. He didn't have to tell us about this shit with his daughter and stuff like. You know, he has a line where he says like, you know, watching Baby Shark with my daughter, but looking for sharks, watching for real sharks outside at the same time.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah,
I seen that one.
There's a lot of things that he said. And it was like, you know, whatever writer's block he had or whatever break he took, he definitely proved that it was well worth the wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know. This is one of those albums where I'm just feeling like, damn, what does he do next? You know,
that's what I'm saying. We ain't gonna see him for another 10 years when it comes to the next album. So better enjoy this one. But a lot of his albums, they are kind of like those albums that you can go back and listen to.
Right, yeah. Because like I said, I listened to Good Kid, Mad City, and it was still, you know what I'm saying, it still held up pretty well. It didn't sound as crazy as it did to me when I first heard it, but it still stood up really well. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so if y'all was to rate it, what would y'all rate it? To give it like out of 5?
Out of 5?
Yeah. From what you've heard so far, EJ.
From what I heard, so I go off the whole vibe of the album. So even like the cover art, the 2, I think he dropped 2 music videos, right? Is it 2 or?
Yeah, well, technically, I think the one.
The Heartbeat was that even on there?
No, that's not on the album, no.
Okay. So
and I was gonna say that shit was kind of like a pump fake too, because that was like, I thought it was gonna be like a bunch of that, but that's just not even on the album. So you could tell he was like, yo, I'm not.
He was going with the vibe, so he kept the vibe together.
Yeah,
you know like I love the message. So like, bro, it's like a full complete album. Like the disc 1, the disc 2, the interludes. Like you can't.
I'm about to bump that when we get done with the show.
You cannot give it a 5 to be real with you. You know what I mean? It's like there's no holes.
Because he did something that like even Kanye West lately has not been able to make an album sound like a, you know what I'm saying, a straight album through. And he did it, bro. I feel like it took me back to like listening to albums when I was in like high school and shit like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the vibe.
Yeah,
baby. That I get.
Yeah, baby.
So Clay, what about you? What you would give it?
Bro, honestly, we rated it out of 5.
Yeah, out of 5. Yeah.
I'm giving that bitch 5 stars, man. Because like, honestly, I've been so caught up bumping the Kendrick Lamar album since Friday. Nigga, I have more than half the time, even today especially, nigga, I forgot the Future album even came out, nigga. That's how I know.
Just blew that shit off the water.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Trash, bro. I didn't even think I listened to Future album.
I mean, I know you thought it was trash. I enjoy the vibe.
Because no one's talking about it no more.
Nobody's really talking about it like that, except Puffin' on Zooties is definitely doing.
Yeah, that's like the greatest.
The only song that's like doing good off the album. That and the Wait For You song.
Gold Stacks is
I don't even like Puffin' on Zooties. I like Wait For You.
Wait For You. That's what I'm saying. Wait For You and Puffin' on Zooties are the 2 tracks that's like the only ones. But you know what I'm saying? Like the fact that it has my full undivided attention away from my playlist in general, not even just when I'm bumping Future's album. Right. That's how I know it's a good album too. Cause like I could literally listen to that album from top to bottom and just chill. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't got no problems. You know what I'm saying? Even for a day like today that got rainy and shit, I usually get in my feels on rainy days because I can't do much. But listening to that album and just cooling out, bro, just like puts me in the right state of mind. And like I don't even worry about all the negatives. I just think about what I can do. You know what I'm saying? It's just it definitely has that vibe. So I can't give it less than
it's
5.
Definitely one of those albums that kind of like speaks to you. And like I said, I keep repeating it, but I love that it was not. You can listen to that shit and not have to be worried about none of this shit that's going on, like this COVID shit. He doesn't. Because I was talking to someone about it today, and they were saying like, "Oh yeah, I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm not ready for the, for all the wave of what he's gonna give us about." I'm like, no, he doesn't really even talk about that shit on it, bro.
He don't.
He don't. He has few. He'll like mention little things. You know what I mean? Like even the song he's like, "You're back outside," but they still like that's COVID and people.
Whoa.
But so he does it so slickly, but there's no song where he just like goes off on talking about COVID or talking about George Floyd. I don't even think he says George Floyd's name.
I don't think he says anybody's names. No,
I don't even think he uses any specific names of those people. None. He even he even has a line where he says like, I love pro-black, but I'm more Kodak black. You know what I'm saying? And I think it shows such his evolution as an artist. He's not he even has a line where he says, I think it's on Savior, where he says, Tupac's dead, have to think for yourself. This is coming from someone who one of his previous albums was, he used Tupac throughout, samples of Tupac.
Right.
So you can see mentally, even he himself has matured, and he's realized, like, yo, I'm not, this whole having people as saviors, whether it be me, Kanye West, Future, LeBron James, whoever, you know, we're not your saviors, bro. We can't help you.
Right.
People were literally upset with this man because he wasn't outside protesting, but it's like, what am I going to do? What can I do?
Right.
Yeah.
You just want me out there because I'm Kendrick Lamar. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And I think that was more so the overall message of the album was like, bro, don't look at us people. I got my own problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've gone through all of this shit. I couldn't even think about this Black Lives Matter shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
My life still goes on. I can't be a hero to show up every time, you know? So, yeah, man, definitely a 5 out of 5 for me, bro. Like,
and I like the fact that he put Kodak on there, bro. Yeah, really,
yeah, bro. Like,
I loved it, bro. I loved it.
I've been telling people, like, yeah, like Kodak is getting up there when it comes to one of the best rappers. You know what I'm saying?
And people don't see that, bro.
People don't see it.
You
like,
gotta think, why would
really,
Kendrick? No other features on this album. Not even J. Cole. None of his peers like that. Why would he reach out to this man? It's not like Kodak is from California. He's from the whole other side, the whole opposite side of the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what somebody said that I agreed with?
Yeah.
They said that Kodak Black. They said Kodak Black to to Kendrick is what 21 Savage was to J. Cole, and I'm like,
yeah,
I like that comparison.
I don't think so.
But Kodak and
all 21 and J. Cole did was make songs about girls and pussy.
Yeah, I know that's what I was about to say. But I feel like Kodak and Kendrick, while it's a similar vibe, I think have a more powerful, like, you know what I'm saying? There's more power in what they do.
You listen to Kodak's last album, like it's like simple. Kodak be on there.
His last album was hard.
Yeah, Kodak be on there giving people messages, like, you know what I'm saying? It's real similar. Like, Kodak is like another Kendrick Lamar in a way. You know what I mean?
Bro, but like from the hood perspective, that's a fact. Like I see that. That's why I be bumping that nigga Kodak, bro. Niggas be sleep. That nigga be spitting some shit. And like,
man,
you know what I'm saying?
And, so, but before we, dip out, or before, because I want to ask you some questions, Clay, just for a couple minutes before we
Word.
But one of the interesting things too, I believe I don't know who I had mentioned it to. I don't know. I don't want to hope I'm not repeating it again, but it was so similar. Two people that are really like kind of polarizing that the black community seems to not know what side they want to get on about is Kodak Black and Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels, obviously, he died last week, whatever that was. Interestingly enough, when we did that episode, I think with B Cherry, I think that was Thursday night, right? Thursday night. Kevin Samuels was on. He was on the episode of Atlanta, Donald Glover's show. Atlanta.
Oh shit, he was.
He was on it, and he was a big part of the episode, and obviously it was the last thing that he probably did before he passed away. And I just thought it was so interesting that like these two, because obviously the black community reveres Kendrick Lamar and Donald Glover for some reason, and I just thought it was so interesting that they both used these two people that their communities, ain't exactly on the same page about. And they use them in a way to show you, like, yo, this person is like, they're not that bad, dude. Like, they're pretty all right if you give them the opportunity to do something outside of their normal realm of what they do. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, because I'm 90% sure that every time niggas hit up Kodak Black for a song or feature or some trap shit or some, and obviously when he met with Kendrick, he explained to him what the project was and like, okay, this is going to be something a little different that I want you to do for me. You know what I mean? And I feel like if that happened more, just like Clay was just saying, like with J. Cole and like 21 was trying to do, if they approached it like that, they could have done something to that degree. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro. Because if you like Kodak, you get Kodak in that bag, bro. Like, I've watched Kodak literally grow from like a young kid artist.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, little nigga. Like, even before a lot of people knew him, I guess people in South Florida knew him, you know what I'm saying? Jay Black type shit. And bro really got bars from like youngin', you know what I'm saying? Lyrics. And a lot of his records, like his singles and stuff like that, they're dumbed down. You know what I mean? They're dumbed down for, I guess, the popularity. But once Kodak getting that bag lyrically, man, he be snapping.
Yeah, he can really say some shit. Like I said, if you listen to him on that interlude, it's like, bro, that shit down there bring me to tears. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it was deep. It was
deep. Some deep shit. And So definitely for this album, to me, is going to be definitely a 5 out of 5, and I definitely think everyone should listen to it. I saw some people were a little bit disappointed. Some people were saying it was kind of boring and stuff like that, but I feel like for you to think that, you got to have a one track kind of mind, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you have to have some kind of pre notion about what you wanted to hear or what you thought you was gonna hear. You know what I mean? So
Right.
definitely good. But yeah, man, that's all we got for today as far as that. But